Welcome to our channel, Mars Sunset Media. Today, we're delving into a topic that blends history, genetics, and a bit of scandal. Inbreeding has been a practice among many royal and noble families throughout history, often with the goal of preserving pure bloodlines, maintaining political alliances, or reinforcing divine status. However, this practice has frequently led to unforeseen and sometimes tragic consequences, ranging from severe genetic disorders to the downfall of entire dynasties. In this video, we will uncover the top 10 most infamous historical stories of inbreeding. From the ancient Egyptian pharaohs to the European monarchies, these tales reveal the complex interplay between power, tradition, and genetics. We'll explore how inbreeding practices among the Jagiellonian dynasty, the Romanovs, the Ptolemaic dynasty, and others not only shaped their lineage, but also left a lasting impact on history. You'll hear about rare genetic conditions, political intrigue, and the surprising ways these families tried to navigate the challenges brought on by their close relative marriages. Definition of inbreeding. Inbreeding refers to the mating of individuals who are closely related genetically, often leading to a higher probability of offspring inheriting genetic defects or undesirable traits. Typically, inbreeding involves mating between individuals who are first cousins or closer. The term inbreeding is most commonly used when the relationship is as close as first cousins, siblings, or parent offspring. Join us as we count down from number 10 to number 1, shedding light on the hidden stories behind some of the world's most powerful families. Whether you're a history buff, a genetics enthusiast, or just curious about the darker side of royal life, this video is sure to fascinate and inform. So let's get started on this journey through the past and uncover the top 10 most infamous historical stories of inbreeding. 10. The Jagiellonian Dynasty. The Jagiellonian dynasty ruled over Poland and Lithuania during the 14th and 15th centuries. This royal family's history is marked by extensive intermarriage among close relatives to solidify political alliances and maintain control over their vast territories. The dynasty's most prominent figures, such as Władysław II Jagiello and his descendants, engaged in marriages between cousins and other close kin. These unions were often motivated by a desire to strengthen internal cohesion and ensure loyalty within the ruling family. However, the downside of this strategy was a notable decline in genetic diversity and health issues among the dynasty's later members. The Jagiellonians experienced a range of inherited health problems, which weakened their political power over time. Despite these challenges, the dynasty managed to leave a significant mark on the history of Central and Eastern Europe, with their reign witnessing the height of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth's power and cultural development. The story of the Jagiellonians serves as a historical example of the delicate balance between political strategy and genetic health within royal families. 9. The Romanovs. The Romanov family, which ruled Russia for over 3 centuries, is another example of the consequences of inbreeding among European royals. Tsar Nicholas II married his first cousin, Alexandra Fyodorovna, who was a granddaughter of Queen Victoria. This marriage brought the gene for hemophilia into the Russian royal lineage, a disorder that severely affected their only son, Alexei. Hemophilia is a blood-clotting disorder that made Alexei's life perilous and required constant medical attention. The presence of this genetic disorder within the Romanov family not only had personal ramifications, but also influenced the political landscape. Alexandra's desperation to find a cure for her son led to her reliance on the mystic Rasputin, whose influence over the royal family contributed to their unpopularity and the eventual fall of the Romanov dynasty during the Russian Revolution. The Romanov case illustrates how genetic issues resulting from inbreeding can have far-reaching consequences beyond individual health, impacting political stability and the course of history. 8. The Ptolemaic Dynasty. The Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt after Alexander the Great's empire fragmented, is infamous for its practice of sibling marriage. This tradition aimed to maintain the purity of their Macedonian Greek bloodline and solidify their divine status. One of the most well-known cases is Cleopatra VII, who married both of her brothers, Ptolemy XIII and Ptolemy XIV. These unions were not only politically strategic but also a cultural norm within the dynasty. However, such inbreeding practices led to significant health issues and contributed to political instability. The reign of the Ptolemaic dynasty was marked by intrigue, betrayal, and internal conflict, partly fueled by these familial tensions. The inbreeding within the Ptolemaic family exemplifies how attempts to preserve power and purity through close relative marriages can lead to a host of problems, both genetically and politically. Despite these challenges, the Ptolemies left a lasting legacy on Egypt, with Cleopatra VII's reign being particularly famous due to her relationships with Roman leaders Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. 7. The Hawaiian royal family. The Hawaiian royal family practiced sibling marriages to maintain the purity of their bloodline and strengthen their divine status among the Hawaiian people. King Kamehameha III married his sister, Kamamalu, following the customs of Hawaiian nobility, who believed that such unions preserved their sacred blood and solidified their rule. These practices were deeply rooted in Hawaiian culture and were seen as a means of reinforcing the monarchy's legitimacy. However, the inbreeding among the Hawaiian royals led to various health issues, including a higher incidence of genetic disorders. The isolated nature of the Hawaiian Islands and the limited gene pool contributed to the exacerbation of these problems. The practice of sibling marriage among the Hawaiian royals highlights the complex interplay between cultural traditions and genetic health. While these unions were culturally significant and politically advantageous, they also underscored the risks associated with maintaining a pure bloodline through inbreeding. The decline in the health of the Hawaiian royal family eventually impacted their ability to govern effectively, contributing to the kingdom's vulnerability to external pressures and eventual annexation by the United States. If you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest releases. Thank you to everyone that have already subscribed. 6. The Spanish Habsburgs. The Spanish Habsburgs are one of the most notorious examples of inbreeding in European history. The family practiced extensive intermarriage among close relatives to consolidate their empire, which stretched across Europe and the Americas. This strategy aimed to maintain political power within the family, but led to severe genetic consequences. The most infamous result of this inbreeding was King Charles II, who suffered from multiple physical and mental disabilities. Charles II's distinctive Habsburg jaw, a severe underbite, became a symbol of the family's genetic decline. He also experienced intellectual disabilities, reproductive issues, and numerous health problems that rendered him incapable of ruling effectively. The extent of inbreeding within the Spanish Habsburgs is well documented, with Charles II's parents being uncle and niece. This high degree of consanguinity contributed to the accumulation of genetic disorders, ultimately leading to the extinction of the Spanish Habsburg line. The story of the Spanish Habsburgs serves as a stark warning about the dangers of inbreeding, highlighting how efforts to maintain dynastic power through close relative marriages can result in profound genetic and political consequences. 5. The Incas. The Inca civilization, which ruled a vast empire in pre-Columbian South America, practiced royal sibling marriages to reinforce the divine status of their rulers. The Sapa Inca, or emperor, often married his sister, a practice rooted in the belief that the royal family descended from the sun god Inti. These marriages were intended to preserve the sacred bloodline and maintain the emperor's semi-divine status. However, this practice of inbreeding led to various genetic issues within the Inca royal family. Historical records and genetic studies suggest that these unions resulted in increased health problems among the royal offspring. The genetic consequences of such close relative marriages likely contributed to the vulnerability of the Inca leadership. Despite these challenges, the Inca Empire remained a powerful and sophisticated civilization until the Spanish conquest in the 16th century. The Inca's practice of royal sibling marriage exemplifies the tension between cultural traditions that reinforce political power and the genetic risks associated with inbreeding. This historical example highlights how efforts to maintain a pure bloodline can lead to significant health issues, impacting the stability and continuity of a ruling dynasty. 4. The Blue Fugates of Kentucky. The Blue Fugates of Kentucky are a unique and well-documented example of the effects of inbreeding within an isolated community. The Fugate family, living in the remote area of Troublesome Creek, exhibited a rare genetic condition called methemoglobinemia, which caused their skin to appear blue. This condition resulted from a recessive gene that became prevalent in the community due to generations of intermarriage among close relatives. The isolation of the region and limited population led to a high degree of consanguinity, with many residents sharing common ancestors. The Blue Fugates condition attracted medical interest and eventually led to the identification of the genetic basis of methemoglobinemia. This case highlights the genetic consequences of inbreeding in small, isolated populations, where the lack of genetic diversity can lead to the expression of rare genetic disorders. The story of the Blue Fugates underscores the importance of genetic diversity for population health and provides valuable insights into how inbreeding can result in significant and visible genetic anomalies. It also serves as a reminder of the broader implications of genetic isolation and the potential for hereditary conditions to become concentrated within a community. 3. The Egyptian Pharaohs. The practice of sibling marriage among Egyptian pharaohs is one of the most well-known examples of royal inbreeding. This tradition aimed to maintain the divine status of the pharaohs, who were considered gods on earth. Tutankhamun, the famous boy king, was the product of such a union between siblings. DNA analysis of Tutankhamun's remains revealed multiple genetic disorders, including a cleft palate, scoliosis, and a compromised immune system. These health issues were likely the result of the extensive inbreeding practices of his ancestors. Sibling marriages were intended to preserve the divine bloodline, but they also led to significant health problems within the royal family. Tutankhamun's early death at around 19 years old and the numerous genetic issues identified in his remains underscore the risks associated with close relative marriages. The practice of inbreeding among the Egyptian pharaohs highlights the complex relationship between cultural traditions, political power, and genetic health. While these marriages were seen as a way to reinforce the divine nature of the pharaohs, they also resulted in severe genetic consequences that impacted the health and longevity of the royal lineage. 2. The British royal family. The British royal family, particularly during the 19th and early 20th centuries, is a prominent example of how inbreeding can introduce genetic disorders into a lineage. Queen Victoria, who married her first cousin Prince Albert, became a carrier of the gene for hemophilia, a blood clotting disorder. This royal disease was passed down to several of her descendants, affecting many European royal families due to intermarriage among royalty. Notable victims included Victoria's son Leopold and her grandsons through various European royal houses. Hemophilia led to prolonged bleeding from even minor injuries, posing significant health risks before modern medical treatments were available. The spread of hemophilia through European royalty illustrates how inbreeding can propagate genetic disorders across multiple generations and countries. The case of Queen Victoria's descendants highlights the broader implications of royal intermarriage, where efforts to maintain alliances and consolidate power inadvertently introduced serious health issues. This historical example underscores the importance of genetic diversity and the potential consequences of inbreeding within elite circles. 1. The Habsburg monarchy. The Habsburg monarchy, which ruled over vast parts of Europe for centuries, is perhaps the most infamous case of inbreeding in history. The Habsburgs engaged in extensive intermarriage to consolidate their power and maintain control over their extensive territories. This strategy led to a high degree of consanguinity within the family, resulting in severe genetic consequences. The most notorious example is Charles II of Spain, who suffered from numerous physical and mental disabilities, including the pronounced Habsburg jaw, a severe underbite that made speech and eating difficult. Charles II's parents were uncle and niece, and his family tree showed multiple instances of close relative marriages. He experienced numerous health problems, including epilepsy, infertility, and intellectual disabilities, which rendered him unable to rule effectively. Charles II's severe disabilities and the resultant lack of a clear heir led to the War of Spanish Succession and significant political upheaval. The downfall of the Spanish Habsburgs serves as a powerful example of how inbreeding to maintain dynastic power can lead to profound genetic and political consequences. The Habsburg case remains a stark reminder of the dangers of inbreeding, highlighting the balance between political strategy and the necessity of genetic diversity for health and stability. As we've seen, the practice of inbreeding among the world's elite families often came with a heavy price. From genetic disorders that plagued the Spanish Habsburgs to the political turmoil faced by the Romanovs, these stories highlight the delicate balance between maintaining power and the health risks associated with close relative marriages. These historical accounts serve as a powerful reminder of the unintended consequences of such practices. While these tales may seem like distant echoes of the past, they continue to fascinate and inform us about the complexities of human genetics and the history of power. If you found these stories as intriguing as we did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history's hidden secrets. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Were there any stories that surprised you? What historical topics would you like us to explore next? Share your ideas, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.